Hello, good day, good morning, good evening, and I am super excited and a bit apprehensive, to be honest with you. This is my first trip out for a good couple of months. You may, depending on when I get this out, you may have just watched the vlogs from Skye, but that was back in, a couple of months ago in June, well into August now, and if you watch the vlogs you'll know I picked up a Lyme infection and had to cancel my trip to the Alps and what have you. Anyway, start to feel a bit better. You'll have seen, I might put a Sunday vlog out giving you an update on how the treatment went and the stages of it, and you might have seen that if you follow the vlogs. Anyway, so we are heading west. Called Jerry up. I said, right, I think I'm about ready to try and head up a hill. And I did emphasise the fact that I wanted to do something easy, so Jerry actually came up with this suggestion of a rather shapely hill in Glencoe. So yeah, it's actually 20 to 11 at the moment, so we're leaving it quite late. The initial forecast was better for the afternoon yesterday, but I think that's changed and it's turned on its head today because it's actually dry at the moment and I think the forecast is for rain, but hey ho, I'm not really caring. I'm just wanting to get out, get back up the hills and see how we get on. So let's go and see Jerry and see how we get on. So before long I met up with Jerry and we moved all my gear from my car and into the steaming Bootsmobile, and we were headed up a familiar road past some lovely familiar landmarks. Familiar sights, there we go. So you can probably tell where we're going. We're just heading into Glencoe now. And I've really only just done this piece to camera because ever since Jerry's picked me up, he's just told me how much of a good trip I missed to the Alps.
That was fantastic. It was fantastic.
I've just been wiping up my tears, you know. Yeah, so first trip back, not quite the Alps. You had nice weather over there, did you?
Fantastic weather, brilliant week, managed every objective, fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I have to put up with. I was sitting suffering on death's door for weeks and weeks, getting the photos through.
Rock ridges, glaciers, snow arrests, the Eiger. Did I mention the Eiger?
The Eiger. So not only did I get a daily, hourly update of the pictures when I was ill on my bed, I've now come back and I'm reliving what I've missed. Anyway, so the familiar site, let me just spin you around so you can see. There you go, look at that, the Buccal. And I said earlier on we're going to a shapely peak, and it's not that peak we're going to, which is very, very shapely. It's another shapely peak, isn't it? It's fantastic, as I said in the text last night.
Yeah.
A paparoony time, maybe. The cloud is capping the summit, so we're going to go and try and get up the hill, which we did, I don't know how many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago maybe?
In an absolute bully of a storm, wasn't it?
It was horrendous, so yeah, let's see if we can get down the glen, get parked up and head up this Paparoony hill.
Test your post-treatment legs, see if they can
still walk. Look at that though, lovely.
Heading west through Glencoe, we took the small road that takes you down past the famous Clachy Inn, and that road eventually leads to Glencoe village, but it also leads to the base of the hill that we were going up, which was the Pap of Glencoe or Sgorr Ciche. And we parked up and got set about heading up the hill, and the weather was, well, it was a bit damp, it wasn't great, which we weren't expecting it to be, and we soon started on our way up the hill, my first hill in quite a few months, and I was looking forward to it. There were a few reasons why we'd chosen the Pap of Glencoe as my return to the hills, and one was that there was a nice path that heads all the way up to the hilltop and kind of sticks clear of any sort of rough ground with ferns and grasses. The last thing I wanted to do was to be wading through tick-infested fernlands, but as we got a bit higher, guess what we found? Lots of ferns.
Oh, I'm out of breath, Jerry. What do you think? About a third of the way up? And you can see we're still surrounded by this ferny bracken all the way up behind me there. But there is a good path. We're kind of sticking to the path, and we've both got poles which we're kind of hitting the bracken with as we go past. But if I spin round, you'll see the view that we've got at the moment. Down over yonder, that's Loch Leven and Glencoe village down there. It's nice, isn't it, Jerry? It's lovely. So, I don't know if we said where we're going. The shapely hill is the Pap of Glencoe. You probably guessed that already, but it's kind of up here, steeply up, a wee bit of a beelac, and then it's a wee steep pull to the top, isn't it?
Nice wee rocky hill, actually.
Yeah, it's
a
nice.
wet day like this.
Especially on a wet day like this. So, yeah, we're going to get up here. I'll report back when we get up to the beelac and see if we've got any views or not. But let's go bracken bashing. Tick finding. Let's go. Ooh.
So we headed up through the ferns and they were really quite thick, but to be honest with you, at this time of the year, many hillsides in Scotland there'll be thick ferns like this, and we just tried to stay to the centre of the path, and as I said, we were using our poles to hit any bracken with the hope of dislodging any want-to-be ticks that would have been hanging off them. Anyway, it was quite nice, it was okay, and the views down Loch Leven were keeping us going.
Camera, you can see the top, might not make it out, but first glimpse of the top of the Pap since we started. So we're almost at the beelac, and then it's a short, sharp ascent to the top of the Pap. So let's see how we get on. Be nice if it stayed clear. Oh, Jerry just saying there's a wee breeze. To be fair, the midge have been out, but they've not affected us. They've not affected me because I think I'm saturated through to the bone with smidge and deet and all these sort of things. Anyway, a wee breeze would be nice to cool us down. Views are great though, look at that.
So up we went, and before long we were reaching that beelac which I was talking about, and it sits at about 580 metres, leaving about, I don't know, 150, 200 metres to the summit. And at this point we took a wee break because there was a steep wee pool up to the summit from here.
Ah, this looks familiar, Jerry, doesn't it?
Yeah, last time we were here the conditions were a little bit different, shall we say.
Didn't have.
We could hardly stand.
Yeah, I think the wind must have been coming from the west because this gave us a bit of shelter.
Just nestled down here and had to put some layers on before going for the summit.
Actually, the last time here it was a bit snowy.
Just like
it was spindrift. We had to get our gear out, crampons on and ice axes before we headed up here. The last wee bit's quite steep, and we just headed directly up. So
that was quite sporting, I remember that, straight up the front.
I'll see if I can find some footage, or maybe put a link to it on the screen here. It was quite good fun.
Put it in, you see, because it was quite a storm, I remember that.
Same views today though,
Aye.
just less white.
Yeah.
How about grey? Shall we crack on up then and see if we can get a view?
Let's head on.
Get a bite to you at the top maybe. Super.
After reminiscing about our last visit, which was in a winter storm, we headed up towards the summit, which sits at 742 metres. And this last bit is quite steep. And although the last time we'd come up in the snow, we'd gone directly up, there is a path that skirts from left to right and takes you around the back. And you've got to be, you do need a wee bit of route finding ability. If you come off the route, there will be some scrambling, and it is quite steep. And steep drops below you if you come off the main path. But if you remain on the path, it's fairly easy, and you skirt round the back, and before long you start to approach the summit of the Pap of Glencoe, or Sgorr.
Well done, Jack. Thank you very much, sir.
Well,
here we go.
Yeah.
The summit of the Pap of Glencoe. I don't know what it's called. Do you know what the correct name for this is, Jerry? I can't remember.
something Ciche.
Sgorr or something like that, I thought. Anyway, I shall put it up on the screen now. But yeah, you get 360 views here most of the year. Well, most of the year. Most of the time the cloud isn't out. But
360 degree views, but it's all the same.
well, I don't know, over there's not bad, Jerry. Look. That's over towards the Annahegic.
Quite atmospheric.
The last one, though. Sgorr over yonder, yeah, it's quite Scottish atmospheric mist. And usually down this way you get a lovely view down the length of Loch Leven and down to the Ballowhoolish Bridge in Ballowhoolish and over to Ardgour and these sort of places. But yeah, it's drizzling. There's not much wind actually, is there? Enough to keep the midges away up here, but pretty calm. You see down there it's clearing actually a wee bit, just down to way down yonder to Loch Leven. So anyway, time to get a bite to eat. I'm just glad to have first time in a few months, so that's good. Good to be back out.
I think it's good that you're back out.
When was the last time you were out, Jerry?
It was the Alps. Did I tell you we were in the Alps? Listen, I watched your video about Lyme disease. And I was so glad you didn't have hemorrhoids. I watched watched that video.
Well, don't speak too quickly. Sunday's vlog.
my struggle with piles.
Full on views, 4K, ultra high definition.
No.
Right, I'm getting a sore arm holding this. Time to get a bite to eat.
To eat, and thanking our lucky stars that I didn't do a video on hemorrhoids as opposed to Lyme disease. We left the summit and the clag didn't clear. It was atmospheric, but yeah, typically Scottishly grey as we headed down, and the rain seemed to get a little bit heavier as we got down, and the path was soaking wet. And yeah, it was just a typical Scottish day in the hills, to be honest with you. And we were glad when we saw the steaming Bootsmobile and headed back along the road. I was super glad to have been out though. It'd been, as I said, it'd been a few months, and hopefully this is the road to recovery.